All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back. This video, we're going to be reviewing the Sunday, September 5th MLB games. We have 15 of them, so we're going to rip through them relatively quickly. Last night, we did the updated power rankings from for the entire league, going over getting close to the playoff race. So that was always fun. We do that every week. We do these every morning and other fun videos in between. So make sure you check out our content. This was moved around a little bit, so it might look a little different than last time. That's all good. We're going to kick things off with the first game of the night. We have the Mets 13, Nationals 6. And the Mets were at 6-3 after 3 innings of both putting up a ton of runs in that first inning. 4 for the Mets, 3 for the Nationals. And in that 5th inning, bottom of the 5th, Nationals tied up 6-6. 8th inning, Mets find an insurance run, and then in the top of the 9th, they pile on a ton, including a grand slam from Kevin Pillar, his 14th of the season. Pillar hits his 18th, Baez his 28th, and Lindor also adds in that 9th inning for that 6-run 9th inning. That the Mets have they've gone on a little bit of a streak last week to get their names back in the race. Believe it or not, they are not out of the playoff race yet. Of course, the Nationals don't have a lot going for them. They're pretty much just playing for spoiler. Thomas hits his 3rd, and Bell hits his 1st, both coming in that 1st inning. Taijuan Walker goes 4.1, giving up 6 earned runs, 6 Ks. Rough outing for him, but he does get away without the decision. And Gray on the other side goes 6 earned runs and giving up a couple of home runs as well. Mets, 1 game above 500, technically still in the race, 4 games or so out of playoff spot. Keep an eye on them. Orioles 8, Yankees 7, and the Orioles are helping out every American League fan out there by knocking the Yankees down. Well, other than the Yankees, of course. The Orioles win a series against the Yankees. I think they win more games in this one series against the Yankees than they did all season long against the Rays. And it was a comeback this time. They were down 4-1 early after that 2nd inning. Brought it as close as 4-2 before the Yankees added 1 in the 5th, exchanging runs in the 6th. So they're down 7-3 or 7-4 going to that 7th inning. They pile on 4 runs, which was just huge for all fans watching. Other than Yankees fans. Hayes goes 15, gets his 15th of the season. Mullins, clutch 25th home run of the season, hits a 2-run bomb. At the time, brings them a little bit closer, 5-4. And then Sanchez on the other side hits his 20th, and that's the only home run coming from them. Akin goes 4 earned runs, 5 Ks. Corey Kluber, 3.2, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks. And it's Andrew Heaney who comes in there, blows the save, blows the game, giving up 4 runs off of 4 hits. It's not been a good outing for Heaney since he's gone to New York, so it's be interesting to watch how his career develops from here. A lot of concern there. Welcome, man. Hayden's in the house, and the Mets, yes, they did have a good game, and they're keeping their hopes alive. You got to be a little bit excited about that. It's a long shot, but they have a hope. Much like this team, the Blue Jays, 8, Athletics 0. I would say they have the same similar hope as those Mets. And they took the action they needed to over the weekend. They swept the Athletics, a team that was ahead of them in the wild card race and had their number for a number of years, but they took them home. And the Athletics on the other side have pretty much fallen out of the race, and they were held to 2 hits on this night. Marcus Semien continues to have a career year, hits his 35th of the season, and Kirk hits his 5th of the season. Jays pretty much put up all 8 runs over the 2, 3rd, and 4th inning. Bichette had a 4-hit RBI night on top of that. Robbie Ray goes 6.2, giving up no earned runs and 10 Ks. Continues to put forth his Cy Young effort. Irving goes 2.17 earned runs and 2 Ks in the loss, and it's a devastating loss for the A's, potentially knocking them out of the playoff race. Indians 11, Red Sox 5. So both the wild card teams losing in both of them losing in this week final game of the night on the wild card. Indians were out immediately 6-0 in the first couple innings here. Fernando Reyes had a monster game, 26th home run of the season, 4 hits. 3 RBI night. And slowly, we saw the Red Sox try to come back. They put up 3 in the 5th, a couple more in the 6th to bring it within 1 run with plenty of time left. But in that 9th inning, we saw the Cleveland Indians put up a 5 spot, which pretty much put the game to rest completely at that point. Plesac goes 5, 3 earned runs, 5 Ks, and Crawford for the Red Sox goes 2, giving up 5 earned runs. Didn't know who this Crawford guy was until he came out, so that's a concern for Boston, having to go to these kind of guys in the rotation down the stretch. They still hold on to that last wild card spot and have a 4-game lead on the Jays. And Mariners, I believe, are 2.5 behind or something like that. Or maybe 3. Tigers 4, Reds 1, and Tigers played awesome spoiler over the weekend over the Reds, and the Padres are definitely happy. Reds are 3-7 in their past 10, so ever since taking over that last wild card spot, they have stumbled, struggled, and not got it done the way you would expect or a playoff team to perform. Detroit put up 3 in that 6th inning, and then they exchanged runs in the 8th. No home runs coming from either side. It's Candelario leading the way for the Tigers with a 2-hit multi-RBI night. Casey Miz goes 3, 0 runs, 2 Ks. They're still keeping him relatively short. It seems really short for him, 34 pitches, but didn't watch the game, so if you have a comment on that, let me know. Castillo on the other side goes 6, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, a great 4.20 ERA, and now 7-15 on the season. He's going to get tagged with the loss, 2 of them unearned, and the offense does not bail him out. But he's turned it around. Twins 6, Rays 5, and it seems like yesterday was a chance for all the top teams in the American League to really drop it so other people could follow up and win. And that's what happened. Twins were out 4-0 early. The Rays did try to bring it back, and they were actually in the lead after the 5th inning, 5-4. Brennan Lowe hits his 33rd, and Meadows in that 5th to take the lead hits a 2-run shot, his 23rd of the season. No home runs coming out of the Twins camp, but they add 1 in the 7th to tie it. And then top of the 9th, they get the lead, and they manage to close the door. Buxton's back in the lineup, and it's nice to see him. He had a multi-hit night. Jax goes 4.2, 4 earned runs, 3 Ks, giving up 1 home run. And Patina, 2.2, 4 earned runs, and 4 Ks. Another kind of bullpen style of game. The depth isn't quite there for the Rays. They're top in the league right now, but they do have an Achilles heel, in my opinion, when it comes to the rotation. Phillies 4, Marlins 3. So the Phillies picking up 4 wins above 500 now. Got out to a 3-2 lead after 4 innings after putting up a big top of the 4th, 4 runs in that one. Bryce Harper hits his 27th of the season, and Freddie Galvis, he's back on there, hits his 11th of the season as well. De La Cruz hits his 3rd for the Marlins, and that's pretty much all they got going. They put up a bunch of sticks, 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, and 1 in the 6th, but that's pretty much it. Coonrod goes 1.11 earned run, 3 Ks, so it's a bullpen style game for the Phillies. We're seeing a lot of these yesterday. And Hernandez for the Marlins goes 5, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks. Obtuse Juice, welcome, buddy. We talked about the Orioles and how they are everybody's favorite team right now because of how they're doing against the Yankees. Very much so. Royals 6, White Sox 0. And the Royals have had the White Sox number for majority of the season, it seems like. They've definitely picked up quite a few wins off the White Sox. And White Sox have had times where they haven't got anything going. They had 6 hits yesterday, no runs, whereas Royals had 6 hits. Salvador Perez, it's his 41st of the season. The guy has been a complete maniac when it comes to the bats. Nice 3-run bomb for him coming in that 1st inning that just pretty much got his team in the lead, and they didn't have to look back. Dylan Cease goes 5, giving up 3 earned runs and 9 Ks, all coming off that 1 home run to Perez. Singer goes 7, 0 earned runs, 6 Ks. Singer's actually, ever since, he's had a very rough first few months, but he has started to settle down a little bit. Of course, Singer's one of their top prospects that they're hoping to take a step forward, and he potentially could be doing that right now. Brewers 6, Cardinals 5, and Cardinals really had a chance to make up some ground here. The Brewers top in the division, of course. The Reds lost. They had a 5-1 lead going into the 9th inning of this one, and the Brewers put up 5 in the bottom of the ninth, including a walk-off home run off the bat of Daniel Vogelbach, his 8th of the season, grand slam. And Reyes also has a solo shot coming in that second inning. For the Cardinals, we see O'Neill have his 23rd, but it's Alex Reyes getting charged with his 5th blown save after setting essentially a streak for the Cardinals of not blowing saves this season. He has blown 5, and it feels like it's been the past month. Relatively quickly. There's a lot of concerns there. Lester goes 5, 1 earned run, 2 Ks, and Burns goes 5, giving up 3 earned runs and 7 Ks. So the Cardinals got to Burns. They got in a chance to make up some ground in the wild card, and they blew it. Alex Reyes couldn't close the game out. Cubs 11, Pirates 8. Cubs now won 6 in a row and really handled the Pirates. This was just a battle of the scrubs early over the weekend. 7-5 after 3 innings between these guys. Both these guys can't get any pitching going. The offense definitely was going, though, and then we see 3 runs added by the Pirates, and they actually have an 8-7 lead heading into the later innings, but the Cubs do put up a 4-run 7th inning, and lots of home runs coming to the bat side. Matt Duffy had 2 home runs in this game, 3 on the season now. Hayward hits his 7th, and Schwindler hits his 11th in that 7th inning, which was a grand slam with 2 out. That gives them that 4-run inning. Kasugo hits his 7th, and Reynolds his 22nd for the Pirates. We see Crow going 3-7 earned runs, giving up 3 home runs in the 3 innings. Not a great look. Zach Davies goes 4, 6 earned runs, 3 Ks as well. Both these guys are sporting some 5 ERA, and the final score kind of showed how that's the case going forward. Braves 9, Rockies 2. So the Braves do answer back in Colorado with a big win to try and build a little bit. They do have the Phillies running them down. The Mets are still streaking a little bit, and they're running them down, so they need to pick up these wins, and they answered after losing a couple to the Rockies initially over the weekend. They had a big one here. 5-run 3rd inning, put them out to a 6-0 lead, and they didn't really have to look back. Albus hits his 26th. Duvall continues to crush his 31st of the season, and Travis d'Arnaud hits his 6th. Austin Riley hits his 29th. So we're seeing multi-home runs, of course, in a Coors game. That tends to be the case, and that's where Atlanta really jumped on. Colorado sends up Feltner, 2.26 earned runs, a new name for me, and I think he's making a debut there. Morton goes 7, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks. So again, big clutch game for Atlanta, setting up Morton, who had a good game. Some of their stars stepping up with home runs, and they pick up the much needed win. Rangers 7, Angels 3. These guys aren't playing for much other than pride at this point. The Rangers are really stomping in the Angels. They got out 5-0 after 3 innings. Angels did put up 1. Adele, the big story for the Angels, 2 multi-home run night. Up to 3 on the season, 3 hits, 3 RBIs, but it doesn't matter. Peters on the other side answers. He had a multi-home run night. He's up to 10. Both these guys had multi-home run nights and not much else there. Hearn goes 7, 3 earned run, 4 Ks. He's starting to turn into a pitcher that Texas is going to be happy to use going forward. And Junk, well, he went 3.2, 1 earned run. 5 runs, but 1 earned off a couple of home runs. It's the first time I've seen that name, Junk, but that's interesting. But they're not playing for much. The game doesn't mean too much. Padres 4, Astros 3, and with the Reds losing, Padres had a chance to take back that wild card spot that was theirs for so long, and they did not disappoint. They got out 3-1 early in this one. Cronenworth ends up being the hero after the Astros tie it late in the game. Gurriel hits his 14th, and Correa hits his 22nd. Back-to-back solo shots to tie the game up 3-3. We got to the bottom of the 9th, and Jake Cronenworth goes up and hits a walk-off solo shot, and everyone's ecstatic. Melancon gets the win instead of the save. He did walk the bases loaded during that inning, so had he not gotten out of it, and that they would have been behind. Who knows how that one would have ended, and Stanek's going to get charged with the loss on that one. Mariners 10, Diamondbacks 4, and Mariners end up sweeping out the Diamondbacks over this weekend. And believe it or not, they are 13 games above 500, 3 games back from Boston, the wild card race. And really, they're in the hunt, and you got to give them a lot of respect. The Mariners have caught everybody off guard this season. This game was 3-3. Mariners were out early 2-0, and then Diamondbacks put up a 3 spot off a 2-run home run from David Peralta. His 7th of the season, gives them 2 in that inning, and then they add another one in the 6th inning, take the lead. No home runs coming out of the side of the Mariners. They just have a monster 11th inning after they tied it up in the 7th. They put up 7 runs in the 11th inning, so the score looks a lot more lopsided than it actually was. Both these guys sending out quality start pitching. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 4 Ks for Flexen. Gilbert goes 7, 3 earned runs, and 3 Ks. And then it becomes a battle of the bullpen. Again, Seattle's bullpen closes the door. Andres only gives up the 1 run, and that's, of course, the extra innings unearned run. But even without Graveman, the bullpen has been getting done for Seattle. And they pick up a huge win in this playoff race while the other teams lose along the way. The last game of the night, it was the Sunday nighter after all. Everyone had their eyes on it. They had split the season series up until then, and now it all came down to this, and the Giants win 6-4. The Dodgers were sending out Buehler, so you expected him to have an amazing game, but it was one of his worst starts of the season, actually. He gave up, 6 runs over 3 innings, 1 home run, and it was given up to Brandon Belt on that first. It was just a solo shot. It's 21st of the season, so it didn't matter too much. But the Dodgers tried to form a comeback. They put up 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 5th to keep it somewhat interesting. And then in that 9th inning, they add a couple more runs, giving the Giants fans a little bit of worry. But that's pretty much all. Albert Pujols hits his 16th of the season, 2-run shot in that 9th inning. We see Leon do the bullpen leadoff. So they went Walker Buehler versus the bullpen, and the bullpen won. McGee goes in there for the save essentially, but he just doesn't follow the criteria. But he ends up giving up 1 earned run in that game. And there you have it. Sunday, September 5th. MLB games are in the books. We have, probably 3 weeks left. We have NFL starting this season, so are people still going to be super excited about baseball? I know I will. Playoff race is getting humped, but football season is going to be pumped too. So hockey 1 month away, basketball 1 month away. Things are starting to look good. It's nice to see everyone in there. John Lester has actually been surprisingly good for the Cardinals so far. Over the past month, maybe. Before that, he was atrocious for a little while, at least. What a terrible season for the Angels, coming from obtuse juice, of course. It seems like a story that we talk about every season long, is that the Angels, all this potential, all this people picking them to win the division, blah, blah, they never can seem to get pitching going, and then the rest of the wagon wheels just fall off. And of course, this season was terrible because we hardly saw Mike Trout. We saw him for a month, feels like, and we haven't seen him since, so that's always tough. Would have been nice to see Ohtani and Trout, but we still have 3 weeks of big baseball games to come. Some people are going to be pumped with how the wild cards end. Some are going to be devastated. I'm sure there's going to be some things coming right down to the wire, and that's what makes baseball so great. Thanks, guys, for watching. We'll see you guys for that next video. Peace out.